Should you get a 2019 MacBook Pro for audio production? I say absolutely. I'm partial to it. I love the MacBook Pro. It's never let me down, and I highly recommend it. Now, I'm using primarily Cubase, and I did a lot of research, versus price and performance, and I was quite happy with the 13-inch. I didn't go for the 16-inch, although you could get more horsepower out of that. But as far as price and performance, I got an amazing deal on a refurbished one from the Mac store. And after all my research, I found that this was the best value for music production. Now, I got a 13-inch MacBook Pro 2019, 2.4 gigahertz i5 with 16 gigs of RAM. And this is the model with the four ports. So I would highly recommend that you get something with the 4 ports, because yes, you can get a lot more docks, but it's always nicer to have a lot more ports when you're interfacing with your equipment. 2.4 is super fast. I mean, for what I use it for audio production, I have never maxed it out yet. I do everything inside the box right now, and it has never been maxed. So I would highly recommend that. I went with the i5 because I've seen a lot of things online. The difference between the i5 and the i7 is not that significant. So I couldn't just justify the price difference between that. But the most important thing is you need 16 gigs of RAM. If you're running multiple virtual instruments, VST plugins for reverb and things like that, you're going to need a lot of RAM. So at minimum, I would get 16. Do not opt for 8. You're going to be disappointed. And then, as you know, it's not upgradable. But yeah, like I said, 13-inch, 2019 model with the 4 ports. Now for expandability, this thing is pretty cool. It's the Dodo Cool, and the only thing is it takes up 2 of your USB-C ports. However, you still plug in your Mac there. It gives you 3 USB ports, a card reader, and an HDMI out. So this is really handy because it's pretty sleek. It just pops right into the computer like that. And I can interface with my keyboard, my sound card, my mixer thing there. And when I need more ports, I have an additional, this is just like a cheap 4-port USB. And I got this little tiny dongle thing. So it's USB-C to USB. And there you go. I could plug in more things to the Mac. But yeah, if you're on the fence for a MacBook Pro, I say go for it. You're going to be happy. Nothing against PCs. I've used PCs for many, many years, but at the rate that I use my laptop, I found back then when I was using the PC laptops, I was going through about 1 per year. They would usually last a year or a year and a half max, and then the ports started breaking and the keys started breaking. So I'm sure things have changed now, but like I said, with the Mac, I had a 2012 MacBook Pro. I ran that thing into the ground. I even dropped it a few times. Eventually the screen broke, and I didn't want to spend the hefty price tag to replace the screen, but I continued to use it through an HDMI out, through this monitor, and it still worked. But it was quite old, and every time I kept upgrading my version of Cubase, things slowed down and I wasn't able to run as many tracks. So I had to upgrade, and this was the best purchase that I could have made for my music studio. Like I said, it's portable, it's tiny, it's sleek, and it's built like a tank. I haven't had any issues with the keyboard keys, like people have mentioned. I guess this is one of the newer ones, but I haven't had any problems with it. But yeah, I highly recommend it. You can't go wrong with this thing. With Cubase, I'm running Cubase 10.5. It works flawlessly. Even at the lowest latency settings, like it doesn't even hiccup. So I think you'll be pretty happy with it. Maybe some other people out there can chime in if you're doing massive orchestral sessions, then maybe you'd need something better. But like I said, I'm not even near maxing this out with like a big session. And I've done larger sessions where I had a screen capture software in the background, and it still ran smooth. So yeah, it's fantastic. Now I do have another video that I uploaded, 4 quick tips for optimizing your Mac. I would recommend that you check out that video, because there are 4 very easy things that you can do, and that'll ensure that you get the best performance, because those few things can really help out. But that's it. If you have any questions, leave me a comment and I will do my best to answer it.